Hey everybody, all right, we are ready to go back to Italy. Let's do this. Okay, as we can see, this is an Italian, it says Armed Forces Combat Ration. Module F, or the pink dot, and if you can look down here, this was packaged in 2013, but it says it's a 2014 model, and it just expired in September, which means it's still good to consume, even though the expiration date has already passed. And these rations, they're designed to be bulletproof, to be eaten and consumed as long as the contents are safe to eat or smell all right. On the back we've got Italian, English, and French, which is always nice to know what you are getting yourself into. Let's slice this thing open. It is a ginormous box. It has a double heat seal on the top, and I'm just going to take this cold steel, tough knife, and start peeling this thing away. We'll start off with breakfast. Now, since this is a 24-hour ration, this breakfast module also contains items that are not strictly just for breakfast, but for use throughout the remainder of the day. You can see the Module F boxes are even color-coded. The last one I had was blue. So you have a spoon and a napkin in here. A dental kit. That's kind of nice. You get toothbrushes. I know last time they were completely different. These are like little paper bags. I believe there's a plastic bag, but we'll take a look at that in a second. It's like some apricot spread. So you get 2 of those. Some toothpicks. Some sugar. I think these are the water purification tablets. I'm saying that because this says harmful for ingestion. A little bit of coffee or tea. We'll take a look at that in a second. The cappuccino right there. Get some matches. Just regular wooden ones. Okay, we see the damage on that. Our cordial has opened up. Total bummer. Well, I guess we won't really get to try that. Then we get some fuel tablets for our stove. Get some sweet biscuits. And then you get the stove. It's kind of nice to have. And lastly in here you get a small package of salt. And that's everything. Oh, and there was another toothpick down at the bottom of the box. Alright, let's take a look inside of this. I know this is just some paper bags. Kind of that. There should be like 3 of them in here for your rubbish throughout the day. Just toss them in, kind of like a burn bag. And then you have the small instruction sheet to give you some useful tips on how to prepare things. Now, also using this sheet, it's kind of important that you check this stuff out, or that you have a translator or something, because these tablets are not in English, and their main purpose is for disinfecting fruit and vegetables that you happen to come across, but they are also water purification tablets. So if you didn't know exactly what these were, you could get very, very sick. And they've even got these warnings down here that if you just ate them out of the package, that you could have some substantial health risks or damage the environment. We'll start off with our cappuccino and our lemon tea. I think last time I dumped a whole bunch of water in this, and everybody was like, "Dude, it's cappuccino." So we'll only add about an ounce of water to this. Actually, it's about like 1.5 ounces with our spoon. And then the lemon tea. And the tea is already sweetened, but if you wanted it a little more sweet, you could also add this package of sugar. I always find when I was in the Army the best way to start off my morning, and I see the Italians live up to that tradition, especially when you wake up and it's cold or you're pissed off at an NCO or an officer, is to wake up and have a shot. So we will enjoy our cordial. Cheers, everybody. Okay, let's get the biscuits and the jam on the plate. Like I was telling you, when things say it expires 2016 on the outside of the packaging, this is still good until April of 2017. So just because an outer package says something, the stuff on the inside could still be good. And this apricot spread is still lovely. And we know we get 2 of those. And then we get our sweet biscuits. And it has 3 large biscuits. I kind of like that as opposed to the last one. It came in a whole bunch of smaller ones. So there's 50 grams of that. So let's give this a try. We'll try one of these sweet biscuits right on its own. Okay, they are very crunchy and they are dry with just a hint of sweetness. So you could always take your biscuit and dunk it into your cappuccino to help not just soften it up, but give it some of that nice cappuccino flavor. And then, of course, we can always use our apricot bread. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's not. It is a fruit, so it's good enough for me. We'll smear some on this. And we'll give that a try. The fragrance isn't very overpowering. You smell just like a hint of sweetness coming off it. And it does lend itself well to the biscuit. And we'll try some of our cappuccino. And that's a nice, strong, wake-me-up kind of drink. And, of course, the lemon tea. Extremely lemony, but it all depends on how much water you add. If you don't want that lemon to be so potent, add more water. Simple as that. Now, when you're done, you can always use your dental stimulator or your toothpick, or you can use one of these. And they are all wrapped in the same package. Kind of redundant. I'll wrap it in this, and then I'll wrap it in this. And then I'm going to individually wrap it again. They are making sure that your hygiene is seriously taken care of. And once you're done with your meal, take your bag, all your trash, and you can dispose of it properly in kind of a camouflage bag or a burn bag. Okay, next out of the bag is lunch. Start off right off the bat. We get a little cutlery kit with a napkin. Get some crackers, 50 grams of that. And this is the other part of that. It's 100 grams of crackers. These are energy tablets. In kind of translating the back of these energy tablets, these are for replacement of multivitamins and minerals in your body, and you're required to take all 4. Some instant coffee, sugar, 300 grams of minestrone soup, it's 150 grams of beef in like gelatin. I know the last ration I had it was turkey. That was really nice. And then of course we have 250 grams of fruit cocktail. And that's everything in there for lunch. Actually, looking at this, this is actually 400 grams. That is quite a bit. And this is 215 grams. That is a lot of food. And I plan on heating up this soup. And I'm going to do this one cold as well as my fruit cocktail, like it's supposed to be. Now to heat this up, you could just use your stove, grab your fuel tablets, light them in there, and you can set it like that, but some people don't like doing that, so you could always pour out your contents into a mess tin of some type. And I'll be opting for this, so let's pour this right in there and get this heated up. Well, let's make the drinks. I was wondering if this stuff could be just dropped in some water and dissolved like the Spanish ration, but obviously not. They're literally tablets to eat. So the only thing we have for lunch besides water in your canteen would be this instant coffee. And again, you could have the sugar with it too, if you were so inclined. I think the last ration I did use the sugar. And again, that is a March of 2017. And I know that's probably a lot of water, but seeing how this is the only thing that you're going to have to drink with this ration, I think it might help to have a little more liquid to help swallow your chow down. And why not? Let's put some sugar in there, just so we can say that we used it. Now in that cutlery packet, it came with a small little napkin, a knife, another spoon, and a small fork. And we've got our energy tablets, our fiber pills, our dental stimulator, a toothpick, and again we have another toothbrush. Now with our first meal, we got a little packet of salt. We didn't get one in this one, so we will use that on standby in case we need to spice something up. Let's check out our crackers. We have 2 packs of these. And it looks like it's almost the same kind of large cracker, but these ones are pretty busted up. See if I can try to get them out of there in kind of one piece, as it were. And they look very similar to the sweet biscuits. And if that's not enough, we still have more in here in a whole another pack. They'll go well with the minestrone soup. Let's take a look at the beef, and it is in gelatin. Now when I watched Steve do this, he didn't heat it up. He just ate it just like that. So that is what I'm going to do with that today. And then we've got the fruit cocktail, of course. Hopefully I don't spill this juice all over everywhere. And we'll just set that. Looks like we got some pears, peaches, and we'll explore that in just a tad. Let's go get the minestrone soup. Okay, I got that right off the stove. It looks pretty nice. It's nice and steaming. I don't know how much of this I'm going to be able to get, seeing how this is 400 grams, but we'll get a nice representation of the beans, the peas, the carrots, the potatoes, so we can give that a nice sample. And that was close. Came close to overfilling. Now I got my coffee over here too. Slide that just a little bit. And let's try this minestrone soup. And again, I haven't put any salt or anything in this. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Smells alright. It's got a nice little tomatoey. The peas really come across on this. They're very strong, which is not a bad thing. And if you wanted like a crouton or something like that, you could also take your biscuit, crack them up, place them in there. It'll soften these biscuits a little bit, and it will also give that a nice texture difference. Let's try the beef and gelatin. It's kind of the shape of the can. That's really tender. I actually was kind of surprised how tender it was, and the gelatin gives a slight salty flavor to it. It's almost like an aspic. Really, really tasty. So I could see why Steve definitely liked this. This is most enjoyable. I think he had turkey though, but yeah, this is pretty good, and this would also work good if you put it on a cracker as well. Let me get a better representation of one of these crackers. Give that a try. If you use your imagination, this beef with the gelatin on these crackers, the crispness of this almost is kind of like a really overdone crostini. Really good. I happen to think that's kind of spot on. What I did with my spoon real quick. Let me try one of these. See, now I've got this floating in. Hopefully it's absorbed some of this lovely fluid, and it looks like it has. And it has, it's softened the biscuit. It's actually kind of thickened this sauce up a little bit. So I imagine if you crumble these up like in a powder form and dumped it in there, you could really thicken this up nice, even though it's supposed to be a soup. Well, let's give our fruit cocktail a try. Like I said, I see pear, peaches, some grape in here. I'm sure there might be a few other animals, but who knows. Looks like the majority of that is pears with a grape on the bottom. And the syrup in here is very light. It's not overly sweet. So if you're not like have a sweet palate or a sweet tooth, that would probably work out for you. And then we have these fiber tablets. Give that a shot. It's kind of a bland processed powder. I mean, they're really designed to be chewed instead of swallowed. That way they break down in your stomach acids and get to your body a little quicker. Yeah, that sugar really helped out that coffee. That's pretty nice. I always like European coffee. It's good stuff. Let's try our energy tablet. And like the package said, you're supposed to take all 4 of these things. Well, there we go. Let's see if this has any flavor or anything like that to it. Kind of like a mild citrusy thing, but it's really grainy. It really starts dissolving in your mouth, and it is grainy. So if you ever had Smarties as a kid or something like that for like Halloween, it does have a slight citrusy kind of taste to it, and it crumbles down into a powder, even though it's a little more grainy than you would get from them little Halloween treats. And that was lunch. All right, and lastly, we have dinner. All right, let's look what we got for dinner. Again, another cutlery kit. Looks like the same as that one that we have for lunch. Have some more sugar, some instant coffee. This time I'm only going to put like an ounce or 2 of water and try it like Steve did. We have some more of those crackers that we had for lunch. These ones feel like they're pretty thrashed up. We have a fruit bar, an energy fruit bar. Some tuna and beans, maybe cannelloni beans or something like that. Ravioli all ragu. Man, the last time I said ravioli, everybody quirked out. But at least this time when I say ravioli, it says ravioli. And we have another energy fruit bar. Kind of surprised, no chocolate bars in this one. I guess they were tired of having them melt. Okay, let's get the ravioli al ragu heated up. And some of these are meat filled, some are cheese filled, and some of these little raviolis are just solid pasta. And this particular one happens to be beef. There you go. We'll just use like 1.5 ounces, 2 ounces of water. Make that a really strong cup. That's going to be a strong cup of coffee. Okay, this is going to be a pretty hearty dinner as well. The one that came in the dinner packet were kind of crushed, but these ones, they were in the lunch packet, the other one, and they're not as damaged. So I think I'm going to try these for this meal. And this is what a nearly pristine pack. I've got one good crack in these that I've seen pulling out, but overall, they are in pretty darn good condition for being in a ration pack for a year or two. Then we have 160 grams of these tuna and beans. I don't know if it's an oil or not. I guess we will find out together. It's in something. Come on, let it go. Oh, that smells really good. That tuna smell is really coming out. Maybe that's just a little bit of oil or something. And then we have 2 of these energy bars. Here's what those energy bars look like. They didn't quite come out of the package exactly as I planned. They are a little sticky, I will say that, but I'm sure they'll taste just fine. And then lastly, we have the, what is it? Ravioli al ragu that we heated up on our stove. Instead of getting all of the sauce in here, let's try to get most of the ravioli so you can get a really good look at this. And this would be like one of those perfect times, and you see there's still a ton left in there, but this would be one of those perfect times if you had crushed red pepper or a packet of cheese or something. That would go good with that. Some Parmesan or whatever. And then over here on standby, in case we need it, we still have our salt that we did not use. Let's try a little bit of our beef ravioli. If it wants to cooperate, you can see there's a little bit of beef chunks on there. The ragu is tomatoey. You can see there's even little bits of beef in there as well as the ravioli. Let's give our tuna and beans a try. It's like all the beans are on the top and the tuna is down on the bottom. The beans are nice, they're soft, and the tuna is a little chewy, which gives a nice little flavor dimension, a little texture. This red sauce or oil or whatever is packed in. Tastes really pleasant too. It's not overly oily. It doesn't like coat your tongue. Really, I'm kind of a fan of that. I'm sure it would go really good. Let's grab a smaller one. Really good with one of these crackers. Maybe a spoon would be a better tool for using this. Give that a try real quick. Gives you that vital crunch that you need. Okay, I've been kind of wondering about this. I usually don't drink super strong coffee, so we will give this a shot. I think I added about another 1/2 ounce of water to it because it looked like it was like sludge on the bottom. And I usually don't drink my coffee that strong. Yeah, that is strong. This is like fighter pilot, Navy chief strong. So I'm sure that they would enjoy that. Let's do this fruit bar, compressed fruit bar. That's really nice. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting it to be kind of like a paste kind of bar or something like that, like a first ration. As soon as you bite into that, it just comes apart and that fruit flavor just kind of spreads through. That's really good. I'll have to find out what's inside of that. I don't know, for some reason Google Translate does not like this color of this wrapper and that writing. But I know it looked like it has some sultanas. I know it had sugar in there. I think it said condensed milk. And I'm sure there's some other lovely stuff in there as well. Again, we should finish off our fiber tablets and our energy tablets, if we still have them, which is necessary to maintain optimal nutrition out in the field. Now, for those of you that are curious what these napkins are like, you can see here that they're very crinkly. And to us, we have like packing paper that you use for presents and stuff, or crepe paper. That is quite a bit of the same kind of consistency as this. And in case you were wondering, there's the toothpaste, and it is sealed on the inside. It has one of these nice little points on here, like our Australian and Kiwi friends do. Moisten that up. That is pretty snazzy for dental care. Okay, everybody, this was an Italian Armed Forces Combat Ration, Module F. This was a 2014 production that was good until 2016 and beyond. Thank you to the Roans for sending this to me. I appreciate it, and I will see you all on the next review. Bye.